Hi there, it's Tom here, Tom the English Picker. I'm just doing this video as a response video to a video that Ben Fitzpatrick did, music tag one. Ben is a git because this has been a difficult process. I've probably lost a day and a half, maybe 2 days solid, just going through, especially some of the ones have just been really tough choices. So I'll probably make this video and then afterwards go, oh, it should have been X, Y, Z. So this is just a snapshot in time. Like everybody's music taste, it changes and evolves and whatnot. But this was just on the fly off the top of my head before fourth quarter to come up with this, with a couple of props and whatnot. So sorry if this is a bit hapdash, but it's the best I can do at a pinch. So the questions, I've got all the questions printed out here. I'll also put them in the doobly-doo, copy of all the questions. So for the people I'm going to tag at the end, and also if you're just interested in doing it yourself, here are some of the answers. It's not reselling related, but it's just a snapshot into my music taste. I think with music, really, I know what I dislike more than necessarily what I like. I'm not a fan at all of any kind of R&B or rap or anything that style, and just anything too extreme as well, like, you know, crazy death metal or, you know, stuff like that, really. A lot of the commercial sort of pop music just doesn't do it for me. There's some poppy sort of dance music that I'll listen to, but predominantly my music taste is dance music, trance, EDM, that sort of electronic genre. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first question. Now this one was quite difficult because I kind of like dance music and whatnot. It says, what's the first gig you went to and what's your favourite gig? Now, I don't really do gigs. I'm not really sort of into bands or anything like that. I can probably count on one hand the amount of what you would call gigs I've been to in that sense. But I've been to like nightclub nights and also big event nights, festival type nights. I mean, I haven't been to very many festivals as such. But yeah, the first gig I can recall was in 2000. It was around 2001, 2002, something like that. I was 18, and we had watched Kevin and Perry Go Large, one of my top 5 films of all time, far too many times, and we thought we were Kevin and Perry. I wish I had the photos to hand to show you, but they're all packed away in storage. I took a disposable camera and a dictaphone. I don't know why I took a dictaphone. And we've got a couple of rolls of film from back then. We went to Ibiza for 2 weeks, and the first sort of, I mean, I was 18. I'd been out drinking and, you know, maybe drinking before I was 18, but obviously I hadn't. And I'd been to nightclubs and things like that, but this was the first sort of nightclub gig I went to, and I got all dressed up in my blue metallic. It was horrific. Like it was not lycra, but it was kind of weird material shirt, and then we had matching camouflage yellow and like black weird camouflage trousers. We're up to state, and we went to Amnesia in Ibiza because that was the one that was on the Kevin and Perry, which turns out that the Amnesia that's on the film, that isn't the nightclub. That's completely from the outside. It's completely created just for the film. That's not the actual venue. And we were quite disappointed when we rocked up because it's actually like next, and it still is, it's like next to a builder's yard with like pallets of like wood and stuff like that. So it's really, and it's out on an industrial estate in the middle of nowhere. I think it's to do with the Spanish noise control regulations that it can't be near housing and whatnot. So it's in San Rafael or something like that, out in the sticks, so they can really crank up the volume. So we rocked up there, and it was the night was Cream, which is the same as the film, which the interior is the same, and the headline guy that was playing was Paul Van Dyke. And I've got a little prop for this. Now, don't ask me how I got this, but I got this at the time, which is a giant, let's get it the right way around, no, it's the wrong way around, giant flag. So you got the cream symbol there, and I got this at the time. You've got amnesia. It was a Thursday cream. There you go. So I've still got the flag, and I actually went to Ibiza this year and took this flag with me. And the funny thing is that cream has changed nights, but it's actually recently changed back to being amnesia. So it was sort of topical, really. So yeah, that was the flag at the time, and that symbol that's there, the cream symbol. I've not got any tattoos, but I nearly got that tattooed on my arm there. We went to the tattoo. I got it done in henna instead because we went to the tattoo place and they told me I was too drunk to get a tattoo. So thankfully, otherwise I would have had the cream symbol just there because of that. So that was my first gig really. So this is going to be a long video, so I do apologise if I'm whittering on a bit, but my favourite gig, now I will insert some clips, it'll either be here or probably at the end kind of thing. My favourite gig I've ever been to was this year. Went to Ibiza this year as a kind of like, I went with my best mate. It's kind of an old man see-off, you know, a retirement party as such that, you know, we're way beyond the 30 mark and we probably shouldn't be going out. But we needed a big sort of blowout, and we went there for 5 days, and you know, it was great. We couldn't hack it. We just ended up sleeping most of the time, but the gig we went to was amazing, and that was Avicii. And yeah, he's very commercial. Agreeably, he has come up with some really commercial stuff, but we went to go and see him at there's a hotel there called Ushuaia. And they do gigs which start at I think it's like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they run and stop at midnight, and that's because the hotel guests obviously have got to go to sleep because it's sort of around a massive pool and whatnot. Huge setup, amazing. We managed to get right at the front, which I've never done, so it was just there. It was mental, and I managed to get some great footage of the fire and the ticker tape cannons and all that. Fantastic. Really amazing. So I'll insert some of those clips if you're interested, but it was actually quite poignant because it was our retirement thing, and also he is sort of retiring as such. It was sort of his last tour as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I got absolutely squashed, but it was worth it. You know, I was completely sober because the beers were like 8 to 10 euros each. It was ridiculous. And we would have ended up just needing the loo. So we found a spot and we were there for like 3 hours. It was amazing. Okay, question 2. We're only on question 2. What was the first single you owned, and what was the first single you bought with your own money, if different? And they were the first single I owned was, you're gonna laugh at this, which was Kylie Locomotion. I think it was on tape as well. So yeah, that was sort of bought for me at one birthday back then. I'm not too sure, but I do remember that being the first single I owned. And the first single I bought with my own money, I bought it from HMV. I've got it somewhere still, but where I'm not too sure. It's probably in storage. And it's a track called, it's by a group called Goriella, and the track name is Goriella. So Goriella. It's a really sort of obscure dance music track. What I've done as well is I've set up a music tag playlist on my channel. So if you click on my channel, click playlists, you'll see there a playlist of some of the tracks that I'm talking about. So if you want to listen to them, but it's sort of a really uplifting, euphoric sort of dance music track. And yeah, that was the first single I bought with my own money. Okay, so we are now on to question 3. What was the first album you owned, and what was the first album you bought? Very similar to the singles one. The first album I owned, I actually still have. Basically, it came from my sister. My sister's like 10 years older than me. And I got some hand-me-down CDs from the sort of early to mid-90s, which kind of did influence my taste a little bit. And this is it here. It's very scratched. The disc probably It might play still. And it's called Hit the Decks Volume 1. The Battle of the DJs, Mega Bass versus Two Little Boys. And it's got things on it like Two Unlimited, Ready for This, Prodigy, Charlie, very classic ones. And it's got samples from like Rolf Harris, Two Little Boys, which is really creepy in hindsight, listening to that. But yeah, I used to listen to this loads and loads and loads. They crammed a lot on one CD, really. I mean, there's all those tracks there on the one CD, but they're like really short sort of mixes. So yeah, that was the first album I owned there. So that's that. And then the first album I getting mixed up here. First album I bought with my own money is this one, and this is the one I bought with my own money here, which was because my friend James, he owned this, and I was still at school. I think I was doing A levels. Yeah, I was doing A levels, and I had to buy it, which was Ministry of Sound Transnation 2, mixed by System F and Ferry Corstein. So yeah, this got me through a very sort of dark place, really, because not long before, it's funny, my musical taste was very different when I was younger. I was kind of into more metally type stuff and more poppy sort of stuff, but I had quite a bad car accident, which I'll talk about in another video, and my music taste just changed completely. It's very peculiar, and it's been the same ever since. And James had got this CD, and I loved it, especially Disc 2. Disc 2 was amazing. So yeah, bought this for myself. Bought it from Woolworths, good old Woolworths, and yeah, it's got LSDJ, Better Off Alone, Game Master, Lost Tribe. Got some real classics on there. So yeah, great CD. Still got it. I've bought myself a couple more copies of it since. I bought myself a copy on Amazon, but it still hasn't arrived yet because I want to listen to it in the car, but I don't want to risk damaging my original copy. So there you go. Okay, so the next question is, who are your top 3 favourite music artists or bands of all time? Now, these questions, again, are very geared towards people who are into bands and artists. And I found this difficult again. But the 3 that I've got is Above and Beyond. They're sort of an uplifting, euphoric trance music. There's 3 of them. I've been to see them loads of times, especially when they first started. But when they do sets, there's only 2 of them there, so they alternate between the people going. I went to go and see the best gig there was at Gatecrasher in Sheffield. It was before it burnt down, and it was Above and Beyond. Fantastic set, amazing. So there's that one. Then my second one is Avicii. Again, he does very poppy stuff, I know. But I've been to see him live twice now, and he was fantastic, really. And then my third one is a bit of a a bit more commercial, which is Calvin Harris. I've been to see Calvin Harris once. That was in Nottingham at Gatecrasher. And he was amazing, really, really good. I was very surprised. And I do like his early stuff as well. He's got some of his own vocals in there. And I do like his more modern stuff with things like, Ellie Goulding and stuff like that. So, yeah, big fan of Calvin Harris as well. Okay, so the next question was, what is the first artist or band that got you excited about music? Now, I've put 2 down because one was when I was a kid, and that's what got me into kind of music. What my first sort of memory of music that I got sort of excited about it. And the second one was as a young adult, really. The first one as a kid was Michael Jackson, particularly the Thriller album. I just remember that putting that on repeat over and over and over again. So I did enjoy that as a kid. And then as a young adult, what used to really I really look forward to when Judge Jules was on Radio 1. I used to listen. I listened to Pete Tong as well, Friday nights with Pete Tong, but particularly Judge Jules. I used to tape it and whatnot. I really enjoyed listening to it, and I've still got those tapes. And it's funny because like I went to go and see Judge Jules this year. You know, he's there, still doing it, and still enjoyed listening to it. So they're the sort of the two that I could think of off the top of my head. God, sorry about this. It's getting to be a long video, but if you're still with me, thanks very much. We're on to question 6. Now, question 6 was a tough one, which is the top 5 favourite albums of all time. Tough. First one, again, back to the very first one I bought, Translation 2. Translation 1's alright, but it's a bit too progressive, but Translation 2 really sums up to me music when I just first started going out. Some absolute all-time classics on here, so definitely, definitely in that list. The second one, which is the same as what Ben had got, which is actually only a recent discovery. I got it this summer and I have not been able to stop listening to it, which is Kevin and Perry Go Large CD. This is a good one to look out for resale. It's got some good value, and I can see why. It's got CD1, which is all the hits from the film. There's some on there which you think, oh gosh, maybe, like Gladys Knight, The Look of Love. I'm not exactly going to listen to that too many times, but it does have that, reminds you of certain aspects in the film. But it's CD2 that really does it, which is the Kevin and Perry Classics Ibiza mix, which is some absolute belters on there, some real good ones. So if you're into kind of dance music, that kind of thing, definitely worth picking up, and also a good one to pick up if you're wanting to resell it. The third one is this one, which is Chicane Behind the Sun. This is a real sort of, it's not a dancey one, it's a chilling out. If you're stressed, it's a good one to listen to. It's really sort of environmental, very sort of like the sea sloshing around and stuff like that, and very uplifting. So it's a good one to listen to if you need to chill out a bit, if you're stressed and whatnot. So I think I picked this up 2002, something like that. It'd been out a while after that. And then the next one is, it's a tough one between these two. So it's probably going to be this one again, the same as Ben, which is the Prodigy, Their Law, the Singles, 1990 to 2005. Also close to that is the Invaders Must Die one, which just I happen to be listening to a lot recently, but definitely this one's got all the classics on there. Breathe, Firestarter, Voodoo People, stuff like that. Fantastic album, always good to listen to. And then the other one is this one, which is Tiesto, In Search of Sunrise 4, Latin America. Some real good ones on here. Some sort of real laid back, something you'd listen to on the beach, chill out. But then there's some real, get up and dance type ones on there. Really good one to listen to. A lot of Tiesto albums are quite good. I know a lot of people say he's a sellout and not really doing dance music anymore and he's too commercial, but I still like him. This is probably about 10 years old now, but it's a good one to listen to, definitely. Okay, so number 7. Again, I'm breaking the rules again, and I've got 2. But the question is, which artist or band is your musical guilty pleasure? I've got 2. The first one is the Lighthouse Family. I don't know why. I think it's because like my parents like listening to it when I was growing up. But I do, occasionally if it's on the radio or whatnot, I do enjoy listening to it, like Ocean Drive and High and Lifted. It's kind of nice, sort of uplifting music to listen to. Yeah, it's cheesy as hell, but it is a bit of a guilty pleasure every now and then. It's fun to listen to. And also the other one is happy hardcore, like the total polar opposite of the Lighthouse Family. But things like Darren Styles and DJ Hixxy, I don't know why, but there's something inside me which is like a proper like boy racist style in me tracky bottoms dancing to happy hardcore. I don't know what it is, but every now and then this inner, person comes out, and I like listening to happy hardcore. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So another, not something I listen to often, but if I'm out or if and that is the guilty pleasure, I guess. And this next one, yeah, it's a difficult question. A top 5 favourite songs of all time. I mean, that's almost, it's, this question is like it's been written by somebody who's 19, who's only been into music a couple of years, from the way that it's phrased, and also to say top 5 favourite songs of all time. I mean, you know, I'm not particularly old, but you know, I've been listening to these sort of music for sort of 10, 15 years. So to pick 5 tracks out of that was virtually impossible. So I've just grabbed some, and I'm sure I'll think afterwards, oh, I should have chosen this and whatnot. One I've already mentioned before, which is Guriella Guriella, which was the first single I ever bought. Classic track, love that track. Then there's they no longer exist, but they're called Swedish House Mafia. They split up, but their track "Don't Worry Child," when that came out, I couldn't get enough of it. I really couldn't. I was singing with some weird high-pitched voice, trying to sing it. Yeah, not the most glamorous of moments. Then there's a really sort of very uplifting track called "On a Good Day" by Ocean Lab. Really good one to listen to if you need to pick up your mood, kind of thing. My next one is off the film Kevin and Perry Go Large, which is Southside Spinners' Love Struck. It's sort of like one of the iconic tracks from that film. Just brings a smile to my face every time I hear it. It is very cheesy dance music, but you know, it's a good one. So yeah. And then the last one is Cafe Del Mar Energy 52, which again is quite a progressive track. Takes a long time to kick in, but it brings back happy memories of going to Ibiza, going to Cafe Del Mar, which if you ever get a chance to go to Ibiza, definitely check out the Sunset Strip. It's expensive if you want to drink there, but it's well worth watching the sun go down there. Get there early. And that just brings back happy memories of going there. So that's my last one for that. Okay, question 9. Favourite lyrics from a song. Now, it's a lot of dance music doesn't have lyrics as such, and the ones that do, when you actually read, when it's in the song, it makes sense and sounds good, but when you read it back in the cold light of day, it's very weird. So I found this one quite tricky, and this one, the one I've picked, is very soft, kind of soppy really, but it's from a track by Above and Beyond called A Thing Called Love, and the lyrics are, "There's a thing called love that we all forget, and it's a wasted love that we all regret. You live your life just once, so don't forget about a thing called love." And it's quite soppy, but it's a good track. It's a brilliant track, really sort of emotive track, and wonderful vocals on it. So definitely worth checking that one out. Okay, we're on the final question, which is the artist or band you think is underrated and would recommend others to listen to. Now, I tend not to listen to stuff that's on the cusp of just coming out, and if I do, I haven't got a clue what the name of it is, so I'll just listen to it and then not know the name. So I found this one a bit tricky, but I was with my friend Mark, and he was talking about this up and coming DJ guy, and I was listening to some of the stuff and remix he'd done, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good. So it's a DJ called Griffin, it's spelled like that, Griffyn, and done some great remixes. So one for the future maybe. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's been a long video. I could literally talk for hours and hours about music, and bore people's pants off, talking about different tracks. It's been really difficult doing this. You know, there's been loads of stuff that I missed out and forgot, I'm sure. But I hope this has given you a brief insight into that musical taste. My nomination for a music tag, 2 people I'm going to nominate. The first being Carl Smiler Upson. He does videos about FBA and whatnot. I haven't seen a video from him in a while, but I know he's on the Facebook groups and I know he's got somewhat sort of along the same vein music-wise taste as well, so it'd be interesting to hear what he has to say. And the other is the man, the myth, the legend, who sadly has stopped doing videos and has taken his videos down. I can understand why, because he's too busy making absolutely piles of money. But if he does watch this and gets a chance to do it, is Steve Hixxy. So Steve, get off your bum and make a video, because we all want to see you back, even for a little bit of time, to hear what kind of music you're into. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. If you didn't like this video, click unsubscribe and sod off. And I'll see you in the next one. Next video coming up soon, I'm going to chat about Amazon FBA and some of the pros and cons. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.